Hi guys, so today's lesson is on adding music and or sound effects into Final Cut. So first thing to understand is that we cannot use copyrighted sounds that we don't have legal rights to. So if we wanted to say use a song by Lady Gaga, we couldn't because we don't have copyrights to it. So we have to find copyright free music. So two websites that we use in class are the YouTube Audio Library. You can just Google YouTube Audio Library and it gives you all sorts of different sound effects for free in terms of free copyrights or free music over here. So you don't have to worry about getting sued if you use one of these sounds in your video, and you should put the video up on YouTube. We also use this website, bensound.com. So both of these sites give you royalty-free music, meaning copyright-free music. So that's where we're going to get our sounds from. I always start with the YouTube Audio Library. It's just easy. So once I'm here, if I want to hear a song, I play it. And if I want to download it, I click the downloads button right here. And then you can see the song, you can see downloading here on the Apple computer. And so the song is going to be saved into your downloads folder. And there's also a sound effects tab that you can go into for various sound effects, kids playing, truck driving, and so forth. And you have to go through all of them to find the sound effect that you want. And then also in YouTube Audio Library, they have different genres, meaning different categories and different moods. So if you do like a horror movie, do you want it to be dark or dramatic or light and funny? If you're doing something other than a horror movie. So you can come over here to where it says filter, and you can go into, like, if you want to just happy songs, you can put on mood, and then you can just click on happy, and it'll come up with just the happy songs for you. Okay, so now all the songs are happy, and you can go through them. Let's see. Sure, it's an upbeat. Okay, so now when you go into Final Cut, it's very simple to work with this. In Final Cut, you make sure you're on your event. Make sure you double click on your project. And if you ever have an instance where you don't see your project down here, that means you didn't double click on it here. So if I see the name of the project here, period 3 bone marrow feature practice, notice it says it here, period 3 bone marrow feature practice. So that's how I know I'm on my project. So what I would do is I would come click inside here, inside your browser, and then we'll import that song, which is in your downloads folder. So file, import, media, and then we have to find our downloads folder. So I'm going to go into teacher, you would go into student, and so I'm going to look for downloads right here, and I'm looking for that song that I just downloaded. So I would have to scroll through all of these different songs, and so today's October 23rd. I might want to look at the date, or maybe the date added I want to look at. Content created on, duration, not seeing the song. All right, so you know what I'm going to do? Because I don't want to spend too much time on the video, I'm not seeing the song. Oh, here it is. Never mind. I'm seeing it. I'm talking to myself, guys. All right, so I click on the song, and just like you import a video, you import a song. All right, so make sure it goes into the correct event. And in our classroom, you can choose to leave it in the files in place, which means it stays in that downloads folder, but then somebody might delete it on you. So I probably wouldn't leave something in the downloads folder. I'd probably say copy to library, which means it's going to copy it into Final Cut. All right, and then it would come down here, and I would say import selected. Now you can see the song, it's all a WAV file, and it's just so easy. You click on the song, and I'm going to click and drag it underneath my video. Okay, so now it's under my video. I have to play my video.
Help Carl. We hope the donation today.
And obviously that song's way too loud, so I rest my cursor on the volume line and just drag the volume down. You want that song low in the background. So we want music on most of our videos because it helps to add to the story. So
Success. I was honored enough to have him as a student a few years.
So you can hear that song in the background, and I might want to just bring that up a hair.
Enough to have him as a student a few years ago.
Okay, and lastly, I want to cut the sound because the song is going on way past where this video is going on. So if I hit the letter B for blade, notice right here, my cursor turned into a blade. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here on the song, click to split that song into two pieces. I'm going to put the letter A for arrow back on, and now I'm going to delete the song using the backspace key, and then it made a slug for me, so I'm going to click on that slug and hit the backspace key. All right, and the last thing I'm going to do is I want to fade the song out at the end because if I play it, it's just going to cut off. Watch.
And we're here to make sure that we support.
Okay, so first of all, it's too loud. I'm going to lower it. And second of all, you see where I get this little circle thingy right here? Now I have that double-sided arrow. I'm going to drag that volume line back, and that's showing you it's going to go down. It's going to be a wave that goes down. All right, so let's take a look.
Part of our community, and we're here to make sure that we support.
right, so it's hard to hear on the computer because I'm recording sound like they're a secondary source. But point being is that this shows you that your song is going to fade out. You could also fade your song in the beginning, rest my cursor on the double-sided arrow, and fade it in too. All right, so that's how I fade in and fade out. And one last thing with sound in Final Cut, you want to make sure your sound never goes over negative 12 decibels. So right here, this is your sound indicator. I'm going to click on it once, and it opens over here. And so you want your sound to average at negative 12 decibels and peak at -6. So you want it to always stay your volume in this range, not just the song, but the whole video. So anytime it goes up here, that's no good. And anytime it's down here, that's no good. They can't hear it here, and you'll blow out the eardrums here. So if I come back and I play this,
I'm a donor today, and I hope it to be a successful drive. So
I can see it's going a little bit over -6, and that's her voice. She's got a high-pitched voice, so I would lower my volume just a hair. So now if I come back and play it,
donor today, and I hope it to be a successful drive. So if somebody out there can help Carl.
not too bad. It still went up here a little bit too much. You kind of want it like around this area, but as long as you're not, getting into the yellow and orange zone. So if I put this up, let's say I come over here, and let me put the volume up pretty loud. You see how I see some orange in here? Now when I play it, let's look over here.
Here for a great event.
Clearly that's too loud, and you see that orange over there. So clearly I have to move my volume down for that. So you have to come up with a good combination of just how loud should the song be so that we can still hear the people talking versus how loud should the voices be so that we don't go over the average over here. So we average at -12, excuse me, we should average at -12 and peak at -6. So we shouldn't really go over -6. So as long as you're in this like area, you're good to go. If you ever see yellow or orange, then no good. All right, so that's how you add music or sound effects into Final Cut. So once again, I go to my websites. I can maybe take a sound effect, download it, come back into Final Cut, and I would say File Import, and I would bring in the sound effect or the music, and then it will go on the track underneath the video clips.